Hello, my Christian family. I've been teaching, so my voice is a bit hoarse, so bear with me. However, Russia threatens to unleash entire arsenal on London if it loses war in Ukraine. The Kremlin has said it will use its entire strategic arsenal and fire nuclear missiles at London. Okay, Washington, Berlin, and Kyiv, if it's made to give up the areas of Ukraine it has invaded. And this is what the closest ally to Putin has said. Whether these are empty words or empty speeches, we do not know, okay? Whether it's just smokes and mirrors. However, I want you to jog your memory. In England, you had the floods, climate change, fires breaking out of nowhere, and you had COVID, and you experienced tons of prime ministers, unelected, each one promising that if you allow us to work as in position of prime minister, that things can only get better. We're in the 1920s, the roaring 20s of money and prosperity, but nothing happened. It went worse. So you went from Liz Truss, Theresa May, and now Rishi Sunak, and they're all claiming they're the best for the job. The video I made, I'll send it. If you look at my description, you'll see the videos and titles. Okay, one which went back to 2019. You have to look at the title within the video. Okay, where I said that God was going to send an earthquake on Britain, an earthquake, and everything that they do will fail. Everything. They promise, the British people, the inflation will go down. They promise that leaving the EU, will be a time of prosperity and a time to celebrate. And I made videos saying, no, it's not going to happen. Now Britain is in a recession. I said that, Britain was cursed because they allowed the gays to mock Jesus at gay pride. They were attacking Christians, for daring, to stand by biblical principles. And God sent me a dream in 2015 that He was going to send an earthquake. And if you look at back since 2016, since the referendum, okay, when Britain then officially left, the EU, things were going downhill. Things were going downhill. They had to deal with natural disasters. They had to deal with COVID. They had to deal with Russian war. Nothing's coming together. Nothing. Everything they do is cursed. And people are now sick and tired of the Tory party for lying through their teeth while they were prospering. The rich gets richer and the poor gets poorer, but they use distraction tactics in order to stay in power. And I says, well, God is going to curse, His enemies and those who slander the church and those who allow the gays to mock Him at gay pride. And there's so many videos I want to make, warning that Europe, Britain, America is coming to an end. Is coming to an end. I've never seen such fierce persecution against Christianity. You could be a practicing Muslim, no problem. You can have your Quran out there while shouting terrorism, terrorist threats, and that's okay. But if you're a Christian preaching love and grace, you're not allowed to do that. If you're a Christian praying outside abortion clinics, you're not allowed to do that. I bet if you're a Muslim, you can get away with it. And that's the reason why God's wrath is on Britain. And America, they will not prosper. They will not prosper. So they can think they can work against God. But when God is punishing a nation, he will allow foreigners to take over. We see in the Bible when Israel lost Jerusalem. Jerusalem was besieged because Israel refused to remain in the covenant with God. They refused to have a relationship with Yahweh, and as a result they were punished. To actually think that you can curse God to his face and get away with it. And this is why the church is in a reckless state that she's in today. She thinks she can indulge in fornication, indulge in all this wickedness and get away with it. But you'll do it to a certain point, and then God will step in. Britain, as I said from day one, and I'll post the description links, right? I said that she will have a very difficult time. She'll have a difficult time, and she'll face challenges based on a dream that I had. That an earthquake was sent, to devastate her, to damage her, and Russia is threatening to unleash arsenals on London, if they lose the war in Ukraine. It should be interesting because, wow, England, we live in a snowflake, sensitive, cancel culture, woke generation. Never seen wars. They've never even seen conflict. So it should be interesting, if Russia carry out their threat. How the government is going to pacify a nation that's used to luxury, a nation that's used to good living and never had to fight, since the day they were born. It should be interesting how the government, will stay in power, while because in wars, it's always the poor who's always hit, never the rich, never the government, always the poor that gets hit. While the government, spins a yarn and lies and deceit to stay in power. But God is moving, and God is exposing all the lies, the cheats, whether in the church or whether in government. And he will have his day. He will. If Cat Williams says 2024 is a year of exposing not only celebrities, but politicians too. So watch this space. Let me know. What do you think of this video? Do you think that God is moving fast? Do you think that God is now exposing his enemies? If you agree with that, please subscribe and leave your comment.